there are two things Germans suck at, and it's AC and Wi-Fi.
Oh
they
my
just can't.
God.
I don't know why. So
What's
good to
up,
have you.
Jen?
Yeah, so good to have you on the show, and it's actually the first time we really get to talk to each other, right?
Exactly. We've spoken
Phenomenal.
audibly, but we haven't actually seen each other while we're speaking. So this is the first time.
Have we ever met in person?
I don't think so. I mean, unless we did before you were making a name for yourself and you were still up and coming, maybe at a show or at a NAM or something. I don't remember if we've actually met before.
Person.
We've officially met virtually.
Yes, that's true.
Virtually met.
So what's going on in your life? How are you spending these weird times? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm fortunate enough that obviously living in the U.S. that things have kind of opened up again, or they're trying to. And
Right.
now it seems like we're going backwards again. But I don't think we're going to be locked down. As far as I can tell, I don't think we're going to lock down again. I just think they're going to just mandate some things again the way they were before. But yeah, I mean, for the first 14, 15 months, I just basically lived in my studio. I lived in this room doing all these
Same.
quarantine videos. And it's the old cliche. Music is my life. Music is in my blood. Music's my DNA, all that crap. But music is also very therapeutic. So when you're going down that rabbit hole of depression or of uncertainty of, I don't know, when we're going to get out of this, when we're going to get back to, you dive into music and it always kind of suppresses things. I mean, that and a lot of vodka. But I think I've done the equivalence of 7 albums.
Whoa, holy
as far
shit.
as work. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I've done 3 alone just for myself in that time. I did one with the band Wet. It's an ongoing project with the Swedish guys. And I've done a couple other things that I haven't quite announced yet. And we're going to leave it that way. You're not gonna get it out of me today. But yeah, and who knew? You know, I thought I was coming home from that canceled tour just to sit back at home for maybe a month or 2, and we were going back
again.
out. Yeah, honestly, my suitcase stayed with my stage clothes and everything ready to go back out. We thought we were just gonna.
Mine too. Same thing. I didn't unpack it for like 3 months. It just sat there in the corner. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be over soon. I'm just like, leave it packed there until after like 10 months. I'm like, maybe I should.
The crazy thing is, I still haven't touched them. I mean, they're not packed in a bag, but they're on a pile basically.
Yeah, the pile.
These are my stage clothes.
Yes.
And it's been on the corner of my closet.
Yes.
And now we're moving. We're moving house, and everything's packed. And I just picked up all those clothes that are still stacked on each other, going, "Oh my God! It's still here. It's still waiting for me to get back on the road."
Same here. I still have that pile of clothes.
Yeah. So now I got to pick up that pile and move it to the new house and put it in its own little corner, waiting for the next time we're going back out. TSO's coming up as well, November, December. Right. There's no way I'm doing a record during those months. TSO, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It basically started off the ashes of the Sabotage breakup. John Oliva has been very, very instrumental involved, but Paul O'Neill was the one that founded it and started it. Paul O'Neill wrote the stories, he wrote the music, produced it, and he's the one that wrangled all those ne'er-do-wells to go on tour and kind of make a rock musical theater version of a winter show. So it's gone for a while, and this is that's weird. I used to poop in diapers. You're actually pooping diapers?
I was pooping diapers. You have agreed to be on my 3 minutes with.
Yes.
And shall we start?
Let's do it. I'm gonna speak as fast as I can. I don't want to miss a word.
Okay, here we go. Here's your options. A, Mad Libs. B, The Odd Interview.
Okay.
C, Favorite Recipes.
Okay.
D, Weird Animal Names. What's your pick?
I'll take Favorite Recipes for 1,000, Alex.
Favorite recipe. Okay, here we go. Timer starts sharp now.
Boom. I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm not really good in the kitchen with Puerto Rican cuisine, Puerto Rican food. Every year around Christmas time, we go to my mother's house, and she always made this 7-layer dip. It's a Mexican 7-layer dip. There's ingredients in her version that I couldn't stand. I'm not big on eating straight jalapenos, and she always puts green olives. But I loved her 7-layer dip. So I decided I'm going to make my own version. I'm going to remove a couple layers and I'm going to add a couple layers. My favorite thing to eat is a 7-layer dip. So it starts with you get like a glass pan that's oven ready. You put the first layer of refried mashed beans in the bottom. Then the next layer is I usually put like a medium to hot sauce. It depends on who's eating it with me. And my mom's version of it was always cold. And I like when the beans, I like the hot and cold kind of thing. So I usually stick that into a kind of like a preheated oven, but not too hot. I don't want it to bake. I don't want it to cook. It's just to kind of warm it up. In the meantime, I go and start getting the other ingredients ready. I get nice tomatoes, chop those up really small. I get cilantro, which you guys call coriander. Yes. So that's layer number 4. And I've got sour cream. Sometimes a plain yogurt.
Nice.
Yeah. Sometimes a plain yogurt can work if you don't have it. And the next layer is, where am I? And then I have guacamole goes on top of that.
Nice.
And I always make my own guac. And then you layer it with shredded cheese. Cheddar cheese. I like to mix. There's like a Mexican cheese that you can buy here that's already shredded. And so now let me preface this with, one time I was on tour with Axel Rudi Pell in Germany. We had a night off and it was the night of a Super Bowl. So we went to a grocery store in Deutschland and we're getting all the ingredients. And this, we found everything. We need cilantro. I don't know what that is. We asked
That's
the
why
guy
you know what's
that works
in
there.
German.
They're translating for me in Deutsch. And the guy goes, I have no idea. So anyways, if you have it, I'll find it. So I'm looking through every herb, every green, and finally I found it. But it said coriander. I'm like, but this is cilantro. No, that's coriander. Then we didn't have the internet then. I couldn't look up that coriander was called cilantro then. I made my own chips. I bought the tortillas and the oil, and I sliced and made my own tortilla chips. Everything's always handmade. So it's my favorite recipe based on making all the ingredients myself. And it is a mouth explosion. The 7-layer dip. You basically put a chip into that dip, and you see every single layer on the edge of your chip or stacked on your chip.
I want to try it right now.
I'll make you one day so you guys. I'll bring you a nice big dish of 7-layer dip.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing, Jeff. And that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for sharing this recipe with us. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I like the medium to hot spice because it gives a nice flavor. No, you don't use. The only thing you use bumblefucked for is to piss people off. That is not something you can. It's not for human consumption. Let me tell you right now. I took a chip and I put just a little dip into the bumblefuck sauce. I did
the same thing.
And it literally took a half hour before I could feel my tongue again. This guy's crazy. Ron is crazy. A bottle of bumblefuck. He should charge you $80 for a bottle because it will last you a lifetime. My wife made a curry one time. She put one drop in a big pot of curry and it blew our heads off. I don't understand this.